One second. Okay, so let's start. So what I was saying, let's suppose just now you have created one AWS instance in a cloud. Okay, in AWS cloud, this is your cloud platform, and this is your EC2 instance. Okay, now your data science team, your machine learning team, or your MLOps team, whatever team is there. Okay, what they have done, they have developed the model, and that model they have stored into one repository. Maybe that can be any repository, any source code management tool like GitHub, Bitbucket, anything. Okay, we are taking example of GitHub. So this is the GitHub. In this GitHub, your data scientist team has developed the model and they have stored the model here. They have one repo here in the GitHub. Maybe that repo name is uh, test model repo, like that. I'm just giving example. In this repo, they have pushed all the model code, okay, all the models. So your model is here in the like GitHub repository. Now this model you want to train, you want to build, you want to deploy. Okay. So for training, building, deploying, for everything you need one machine, because in GitHub, how you can build and train the model? You need one machine now where you will do that kind of activity. You need to extract, so you need one machine, so you have to run one command to extract that model repository. Okay, and then you have to build the model, so you have to run some commands to build the model, then deploy the model. So for that also you need one machine where you will deploy the model. Okay, for everything one you need one machine. Okay, so I am taking example. Let's suppose in AWS cloud you have created this AWS instance, and in this instance you have given configuration of maybe 40 GB. Okay, but in a 40 GB machine you can't be able to run this machine learning model based, you can say, code. That is not possible in 40 GB machine you can run. Okay, because 40 GB in 40 GB machine, if you deploy this kind of model thing, so it will crash. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to configure a more heavier machine. Okay, for that AWS cloud provides some N series based machine. What is N series machine, I will explain you later, but they have N series machine. Right now what you are doing, you are taking T series machine like T3 micro, T3 medium, T2 micro, right? Yes. But in the, if you want to deploy your AWS, if you want to deploy your model kind of things, then you need heavier machine. So heavier machine you will get in AWS in N series. In AWS they have N series option also. You can go and you can take N3 dot medium, N2 dot medium, like that kind of machine. Okay. Now you can configure one EC2 instance with the N series machine. Now you have one machine. In this machine you want to deploy your model. And let's suppose you have built the model, trained the model, everything you have done, and you have deployed the model in this virtual machine. Now your model is running is in only one machine. Okay. Maybe tomorrow, due to some reason, your machine will stop working. Your machine will stop working, or your machine not functioning. Anything can be happen. So what you will do? Your customer is facing problem because your this model is running behind the very heavy or very important website of government, Indian government, but your model machine is not working. Then how you will, your customer will face issue, right? Then what is the option for this? What you have to do, you have to make sure like you have higher availability and durability options. Like you are not running your model into only one machine. You have configured multiple machine, and at the time of when your one machine got stop or not functioning, your other machine can come up and respond to the customer. Like this kind of configuration you will do, okay, to respond to your customer, to make your model machine available all the time. So for that, what you have to do, you have to configure multiple thing here, and you are the only person who have to monitor this machine all the time. You have to keep eye on this, everything working fine or not, this kind of things. Okay, so this is one option. Like you can create your own machine, you have to manage by yourself, you have to manage availability, you have to manage durability, you have to manage everything. And there is other option also which you can take, that is cloud based service you can take. What you can take? Cloud based service. Okay, if I talk about AWS cloud, So in AWS Cloud, if you want to deploy, build, and train machine learning based model, so they have one service called Sagemaker. You can use the Sagemaker service. And in the SageMaker service, you can do all kind of activity. You can build the model, machine learning model. You can train the model. You can deploy the model. Everything is possible in this SageMaker service. Okay, this service is basically provided by Amazon Web Services. Okay, which
So
helps.
can I ask you a question? So for using a AWS SageMaker, instance is not required.
They will provide an instance by themselves. You don't have to do anything.
So we don't need to create an explicitly. No need to create an instance.
No,
Okay.
everything by give. Like you, do you know about? There is some service of Kubernetes in cloud itself, like EKS or AKS.
It,
Have you heard before about this?
ETS I heard somewhere, but I'm not recollecting it.
Okay, if you don't know, then how I can explain about EKS and all? Okay, leave it. So SageMaker means, okay, this is the fully managed service of AWS. Fully managed. Fully managed means everything will be managed by AWS team. You don't have to do anything. What you have to do, you have to just give your just have to bring your model data, and you have to build your model, you have to train your model, and you have to deploy your model into SageMaker. That's it. Now availability, scalability, durability, everything will be managed by AWS team. Are you getting?
Yes.
So it's a fully managed service which is provided by Amazon Web Services, which helps data scientists to build, train, and deploy machine learning based model. Okay,
Okay.
and in AWS SageMaker you will get multiple kind of services. Okay, variety of tools you will get here to simplify entire ML workflow, machine learning workflow. Okay, from data processing to model training, tuning, and deployment. For everything, you will get tools and services here in the SageMaker itself. And it's a fully managed service, bro. Okay, and you can integrate your SageMaker with the S3 bucket.
Okay.
Okay, someday, like I think 2 days before, you have asked me about S3 also, right?
Yes.
Right, you have data, you have your model data in S3, and so how you can integrate your S3 with the AWS SageMaker? You can integrate here. There is the
Is it
option.
is it S3 directly integrating with SageMaker or with the help of Lambda?
With the help of Lambda, you can do, or you can
Okay.
directly also integrate. But for that, you have to do some automation kind of things. You have to run some code of Python and that kind of things. But if you want, so you can use Lambda. Using Lambda, you can integrate your SageMaker with the S3 bucket.
Okay. Two
Okay,
options are available.
yeah. And if I talk about key features of SageMaker, so first benefit of using SageMaker is data labeling. Like whatever data you have, whatever model data you have, you can provide a label to that data.
I couldn't understood that one. What is that? Can you data labeling means?
Data labeling means you can say, uh, let's suppose your data is XYZ, okay, and you want to give a proper label to that data. Label means kind of brand, you can say. So you
Yes.
can do in the SageMaker. Data labeling is there. Data labeling option is there. We will understand in a good way. But right now I am explaining you like you are a fresher in this field. So I am
Okay.
explaining in very, like you can say, easy language. Just understand the word. Okay.
Okay.
Data labeling. You can do data labeling here. Means whatever data you have bring from any organization or from any data science team, you can just bring your data and you can label that data. How data labeling work, we will understand those things. Okay. Then there is second benefit of AWS SageMaker, that is pre-built algorithm. Okay, means there are some pre-built machine learning algorithm you can implement with your model. Okay, and if you implement that algorithm, so you can you can just whatever the workflow of the machine learning operations, MLOps operations, that workflow will be more easier using that pre-built algorithm. Okay. Then third benefit of SageMaker is automatic model tuning. Okay, like in SageMaker you will get hyperparameter. Okay, hyperparameter optimization. What they do, they automatically tune your model parameters for better performance. Are you getting me?
Okay.
Means the third benefit of SageMaker is SageMaker provide one kind of service, you can say. That service name is hyperparameter optimization. Okay, if you implement this service, so it will automatically tune your model parameter for better performance.
Oh, automatically it will do the hyperparameter tuning.
Yeah, automatically it will.
Okay.
Okay, and then the fourth benefit of SageMaker is it will provide managed training of the model. Means training will be also, you can say, you just have to follow few steps, then your training process also will be automate.
Okay.
So you don't have to work manually. But if you work on that EC2 instance, one dedicated machine based process, in that everything you have to do by yourself. You have to learn Python to automate the process, to train the model, to build the model. For everything you need Python. But if you learn this service, SageMaker service, so in MLOps, if you want to be a MLOps engineer, you don't need to learn Python. Okay. Then fifth benefit of, you can say, SageMaker is model deployment. Once your model will be trained and ready, you can easily deploy that model into your AWS SageMaker.
So AWS SageMaker can be used for building, designing, building, and
Building,
development
tuning,
and
deploying, and
deployment.
training the model.
Everything we can do means, for example, if normally we will do the VS Code in VS Code, the Jupyter notebook we will be doing, or else in the VS Code Python file we will be doing all the development.
Hmm.
So that everything we can do it in the SageMaker.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, and the best benefit is of SageMaker. Once your model is trained, okay, SageMaker can deploy the model to an endpoint, okay, for inference and prediction in real time. Inference and prediction in real time, you understand? Let's take an
Inference.
example of Google Translator. Okay, let's suppose I am giving one word in English. My name is Issue. Okay, and I want to translate that data into maybe Kannada or in any other language of India or any other Spanish language or Portuguese language or any other language. Okay, or maybe in Hindi language. So once I will do enter immediately in real time, in immediately I am getting that word in Hindi. So how that process is working in a backend? So definitely in the Google they have maintained this kind of process because this is also a machine learning operations part, operations process example, you can say. This Google Translator is an example of MLOps. It's an example of machine learning process. You are giving one word and that word is coming into, if you are translating into different language, that word is coming into with the different language. Like I said, my name is Issue, so it will give me like mera naam Issue hai, like that. Okay, so this kind of real-time inference also, this too, AWS SageMaker. Don't get any kind of tension in your mind. Everything will be clear once. Just understand what I am explaining you. Okay.
Okay.
And the sixth benefit of SageMaker is SageMaker provide integrated Jupyter notebook. Integrated. Right now you have mentioned in VS Code you install Jupyter extension and you write your code in Python, right? Like that you work in a VS
So
Code.
yes, yes.
Okay, but if you use AWS SageMaker, then SageMaker provides an integrated Jupyter notebook to enable easy code development and experimentation. Okay, and the seventh
Okay.
benefit of SageMaker is you can integrate your SageMaker with any AWS services, either IAM, S3, Lambda, any services.
Okay.
Okay, and if I talk about the configuration of this SageMaker, so you have to follow multiple kind of steps. First of all, what we need to create a SageMaker, we need one AWS account which you already have, right? Then second, we have to create one role, IAM role, to create a SageMaker service. Without role, you can't create SageMaker service. What is that role? We will discuss. Okay. Then third things, what you have to do, you have to access, you have to go and you have to access the SageMaker console.
Sorry to interrupt you. So, as you said, we have to create a role.
Hmm.
I am user, right?
Hmm.
User we have to create.
No, no user, only role.
Okay. Then that particular role will have what kind of privilege will have only for
S3,
SageMaker
it,
or admin level.
no, bro. In this, let's suppose you are storing your data, your model into S3 bucket. I'm just giving example. It can be anywhere, but let's suppose you are storing in the S3 bucket. Okay. Now that
Okay.
S3 bucket model you want to pick in SageMaker and you want to build, tune, train, and deploy the model. So in AWS S3 is different service, SageMaker is different service. Then how they both communicate? So for communication between those two services, we need to implement a role. In that role, we have to provide if I am creating SageMaker, so I want to access S3 service. So I have to provide S3 full access to that role.
Okay. Then in S3 also the S3 also content should be in the same role, right?
No, yeah, see, just create one IAM role and connect with the SageMaker. So what SageMaker will do? SageMaker now have privilege to contact with S3. Now
Sorry.
automatically they both can communicate, bro.
See, if the data is there in S3 in a different role, then
Mhm.
is it possible to access from SageMaker?
No, you have to give proper
Okay.
role.
Should be in the same role.
Yeah, same role. No,
Okay.
you don't have to give role to both service, bro. Only one service. You want to connect your SageMaker with the S3, then you have to create one role and you have to connect that role with the SageMaker. Now SageMaker has that privilege that they can contact with S3. Now they both can communicate with each other.
Okay. Okay. So you are telling S3 doesn't connected to any role.
Let me give you one real life example. Okay, the example is you and me both both have shifted one new apartment. Okay, you are my neighbor, and one day I wanted to borrow something from you, maybe some daily uses things. Okay, so I knocked your door and I'm opening, you have opened your door and I'm asking like please give me these things. In my house there is some shortage of this thing, so I want to use that thing, I require these things, so you will give me. The next time if you want, or you are seeing me in the apartment, in the garden, in the some area, so you will automatically will say hi to me and I will say hi to you. Why? Because I came to you, I given you that privilege that you can communicate with me, I can communicate with you anytime. And next time if you need something, you will automatically come to me and you can take anything from me, right? So first approach who have done, first approach I have done, I have initiated the relation with you. Now we can both can communicate together. The same thing you're doing here, bro. In the SageMaker you just attaching one permission to the of the S3. Now that SageMaker can talk to S3 and S3 can talk to SageMaker, that's it. So one way role you have to implement, not both service role you have to implement.
Okay.
Okay, after that we don't have to do anything. Once our role is created, we will attach with the SageMaker. Okay, we can go to SageMaker console. Then we have to create notebook, and we have to launch one Jupyter notebook, and we have to prepare our data. It's optional, not the main things. Then we have to train the model in SageMaker. Then we have to deploy the model in SageMaker. They have to monitor and update the model in SageMaker. So this kind of things we will do in a SageMaker. So if you talk about SageMaker, SageMaker is just a two things task. Sorry, 2 days task, 2 or 3 days task. If you sit with me 2 days, 2 or 3 days, you will get the SageMaker complete idea. But before SageMaker, you have to understand lots of things, bro. You have to understand use case of EC2. You have to understand use case of IAM role. You have to understand use case of Lambda. You have to understand use case of S3. Then you can go with the SageMaker. If you directly go as SageMaker and you will start working, you will don't get a single idea about SageMaker. I will explain 2 hours. You will listen 2 hours and you will just next year you will forget everything.
But I am following you. I'm understanding everything now.
Okay. So this is the SageMaker thing, and SageMaker we have to implement and we have to deploy. Okay.
Okay.
Now, how we can create a SageMaker, how to configure the SageMaker, how to get the model, how to build the model, how this machine learning operations work, how this machine learning team is working, every process. Now we will start. Okay.